has been very, very strong, as they've only let 3 shots come from outside, and New Mexico has not hit any one of them.
Pivot foot, shot, drops it.
Now that's the second time they've done that play where Hano's gotten loose right in the middle after some sharp execution and picking right in the lane. This is a dangerous point now for New Mexico, too. They've got to get themselves on the board and not get too far behind, because the pressure will definitely build.
Utah with a 6-0 lead early. Rick Majerus, the head coach, in his 10th season. 5th straight 20-win season for Rick Majerus. Took on Tubby Smith in that title game down in San Antonio in the NCAA final.
Okay, we got a chance to watch practice yesterday, and you're talking about a strong defensive effort by the Utah team.
Henry launches another long shot. New Mexico 0 for 4 to start this game. This is very reminiscent, Ro, of what happened February 1st in Albuquerque at the pit. New Mexico could not score in that game.
They're not getting themselves on track simply because they're not getting good shots. And also, the guys who are supposed to be shooting from the low post are not getting any looks at all. Thomas has not been able to do that down in the low post.
Medal up for 3.
Dave Bliss is going to have to take a look at calling a timeout here. And not let this game get away from them right now. They're getting some good looks at the basket, but all of them, unfortunately, have been outside shots.
Well, Utah leads 9-0, but 7 of those 9 points have been knocked down by Hano Metala. And we take you back, Ro, Thursday night against the UTEP Miners, and Andre caught underneath, landed on his non-shooting hand. There was a lot of concern that night. Will the All-American be able to answer the call today? And of course, your concern is about the tournament next week in Las Vegas. X-rays negative, sprained hand, but we saw him in limited time yesterday in practice. Today, though, he's moving around very well.
Yeah, he got a little bit of rest yesterday to rest the hand a little bit, too, but he looked very, very good at the beginning of this game, handling the ball in his left hand pretty good and moving all around, too. And New Mexico, playing against an intense defense, is going to have to be able to come on out of this and get some clear looks and get themselves on the board, because the less time that they spend moving around and not scoring, the better it's going to be for them.
Utah on Andre Miller's day, his final home game as a Utah Ute, and they lead by 9. Miller takes a seat, and Tony Harvey, number 5, a junior from Carson, California, checks in at the point.
They're going to have to use him. There it is. Thomas springs open with a one-on-one coverage.
Smith runs in the corner, saves the ball, and it's going back the other way. It's going to be Utah basketball.
But New Mexico did a very good job on that play. They started off with the guard weave at the top and then was able to spring Kenny Thomas open on the low post for his first one-on-one action. He just was not able to drop the shot. They've got to continue that movement, though. Put him in different situations in which he gets that one-on-one coverage, and then let the All-American take over with his talent.
As you see, New Mexico 0 for 5. Utah 4 of 5. Harvey, as I mentioned, averaging 24 minutes in relief at the point for Andre Miller. They do not lose much with Harvey in the lineup.
And he comes in with a great defensive scheme, also gives them some very, very good offense.
Killian spots up, in and out. Rebound goes out to New Mexico. Lobos want to run. Robinson across midcourt.
There's a good change of defense right there by Dave Bliss, putting him in a zone.
Thomas trying to roll in off the shoulder of Althoff, and Nate Althoff, the 7-footer, only a sophomore, picks up his first.
Nate Althoff is just trying to fight Thomas in the low post here, and it's a very, very difficult job to do that, especially when he's a one-on-one player.
15:36 to play, opening half. Utah jumping out to a 9-point lead.
Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
Folks, your Colonel's shaking things up with my new extra crispy chicken. Right now, get 8 pieces plus 6 of my honey barbecue wings, just $9.99. That price ain't gonna last, so shake a leg.
At Pep Boys, get 4 of our 35,000-mile tires at a low $99. Or double your mileage with 4 70,000-mile all-season steel-belted tires, just $169.
Pep Boys, cars like us.
People love us.
Where'd you get the club?
Accounting.
County gave you a club?
Yeah, I made him a deal. Whenever my cell bills are half as much as yours, they give me a club.
Aren't you on the phone all the time?
Yeah, but I have Nextel. My calls are rounded to the second. I pay less.
It's not fair. I want to be rounded to the second.
Wait till I get my putter.
Nextel's 1-second rounding makes ordinary cell phones seem ordinary. And now for a limited time, you can get Nextel phones starting at $99 each.
CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by the Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the new Chevy Silverado. It's the truck. Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Nike.
Welcome back to the sold-out Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City. Not a seat to be had on this Saturday afternoon. Utah 23-4, New Mexico 22-6. Both top 25 contenders. And right now, Rolando Blackman, New Mexico getting good looks, as you mentioned, haven't found the hole.
They've got to be able to get it together, and I think guys like Lamont Long and Kevin Henry now are going to have to start springing themselves and being able to put some points on this board, because Kenny Thomas is not going to be able to do it by himself.
Another good look for John Robinson from the 8-foot range, hit the front of the iron, so the Lobos start 0 for 6.
Looks to me like they're executing.
Harvey, the high rainbow, rebounded, taken down by Lamont Long.
An excellent rebounding guard, but these guys have been getting some good looks. They've had a couple of tough shots, but most of them have been open shots. They've got to drop them now to be able to not to be down by too far.
Smith looking for 3, 0 for 7. They've played over 5 minutes, and the Lobos are scoreless.
This is the point right now. As their offense is not going very well, they're going to have to keep up their defensive structure and not let New Mexico get out in front.
Metala driving. He's yet to miss from the floor. 4 for 4, Hanno Metala. 9 points for the junior from Helsinki, Finland.
Greg, that's one of the most difficult things, too. Also, all your offense is not going well, and all of a sudden now, your defensive structure does not finish up for you.
Well, another good look. Brian Smith, the ball went in, jumped right out.
They're getting some shots. The main situation right now is to be able to drop it. But the most important thing is to be able to keep their defensive structure high and not let this game get too far out ahead of them before somebody drops the shot and loosens up that pressure on New Mexico.
Killian out of that 3-point range to Metala, back in the corner. Killian. Utah 11-0 over New Mexico. Killian fires from long range. In and out, all top, the fall away. And Smith pulls down the loose rebound for New Mexico. They need a bucket. Henry, crossover dribble.
Right now, it's just going to have to be anybody, Craig, just to loosen up that pressure to be able to put New Mexico on the board.
Robinson drives, picked up the double team from the corner. Again, in and out by Smith.
Once again, John Robinson, nice drive down the middle to get 2 people on him. Could not get that shot down. And look at the rebounds by Utah. They're on the boards by a great advantage there, 11-3.
And no second shot opportunities for the Lobos. They are 0 for 9 to start this game.
They're going to have a little bit more pressure right here, too. As you can see, Utah's moving the ball a little too easily right now. They're picking the spots, and New Mexico's the one reacting on the second shots.
Harvey misses from the 3-point line. Rebound goes out to Kenny Thomas. Thomas had a tremendous game 2 nights ago against Brigham Young. 28 points, 8 boards, 4 blocks, 4 assists. Thomas against Altop. Rollers down that shoulder, little jump hook again. In and out.
You know, it's a very good job right there by Nate Altop, though. He was able to get Thomas away from the bucket where he had to put the ball on the floor first and take a very difficult shot that he did not again make.
Andre Miller checks back in for Utah. Also answering the horn is Phil Cullen, number 40, a freshman. Well, the tournament is coming. Where will you turn for the latest stats and news? Tournament Live. That's right, only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. A keyword, CBS Sportsline. Yeah, tourney time.
Definitely so. Now, Phil Cullen has come in for Althoff. He's going to have to keep the same job up. It's what Althoff's been taking care of because he did a great job in that post against Thomas.
Medela was met by Long out to Jensen, a defensive specialist for Utah. Cullen. Oh, my. Hit the three. So fresh off the bench, the freshman makes it 14-0.
But the New Mexico is just going to have to step it up defensively while their offensive structure is not working for them right now. They're letting that ball around that post a little bit too easy as Utah is cutting them apart.
Kenny Thomas wants the ball. Otto Medela has him down low on the post. Robinson for three.
Now that was a difficult shot right there. John Robinson's very small, and Harvey jumped right up, made that shot really difficult.
Miller had the ball stripped away by Robinson. Picked up by Jensen. Here comes Hano, who's been hot. A whistle. Offensive.
And right to the bucket there that time, too. And Thomas, with nothing else to do but stand in his way, did a great job because it was on its way to another bucket.
And a timeout. The hot hand has been Medela, but an offensive foul. New Mexico 0 for 11.
Chris Worth, animator, knows good, knows evil, knows that having a formidable partner is definitely good. Chevy S10 like a rock.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
People, today's agenda, the information age.
What happened to the industrial age?
That was last century.
Those were the days. You built it, you sold it.
No more living in the past. Today, it's not just what you make, it's what you know that matters.
He always gets so proactive around the millennials.
All I know is they need help communicating down there. Look, he just quit, and years of knowledge are going out the door with him.
Isn't there a way to capture what he knows?
Over there, she's got thousands of documents on the network.
Finding the one she needs should be simpler.
He's got half a good idea over there, she's got the other half.
We get the picture.
What are we supposed to do about it?
Make it simpler for people to exchange ideas.
Share documents, have conversations.
Right, so they create knowledge they can use.
They'll need a digital office.
With new software.
New hardware.
Relax, I've got us a partner down there.
But they only make...
Not anymore, they don't. Oh. Keep the conversation going. Share the knowledge. The Digital Document Company. Xerox.
This week on The Late Show, Brooke Shields, Mark Wahlberg, Billy Crystal, and a bonus from Dave.
I will marry Monica to help the healing.
That's all this week.
Utah has run off to a 14-0 lead. Let's take a look now at the Arthur Anderson Wise decision. And it involves the All-American, Andre Miller. His final game, Ro, just a few minutes ago. He was honored before the tip of this game, graduated in the spring of '98 with a degree in sociology, and he's one of those non-qualifiers who was granted that extra year of eligibility by the NCAA. And his mom and dad in the stands. What a special day for Andre Miller.
It was a tremendous decision, a wise decision for Andre Miller to come on back, not only for the Utah basketball team, but for himself to be able to get himself acclimated here, to be able to be a great All-American and to come back and lead this team and to do a great job for all scholarship athletes across America.
Kenny Thomas has come back for his senior campaign. Of course, names from Utah. A young man doing very well in the NBA is Keith Van Horn, and a young rookie down in Orlando, the big center, Michael Doliak.
All maturity. That's what it's all about. Maturity and being able to handle a situation. As Andre Miller will be able to do that at the next level.
Rolando, what did Dave Bliss tell his club in that timeout?
They're trying to get good shots, but also they're trying to open it up. There we have a great play right there by Smith. The important factor is that Lamont Long with his great ability the way he is right now, has to be able to take the basketball to the hole and have guys do other things other than just look for Kenny Thomas.
A long drought ends. Nearly 9 minutes for New Mexico. Harvey, nice interior pass, and the jam goes down by Cullen.
What a great timing play right there by Harvey, hitting Cullen on the other side, cutting to the basket as he made a tip-touch pass, and Cullen with the jam.
Andre got some elevation that time as he was able to tip the ball free. Turnover, Utah basketball with a 16-2 lead.
You know, Craig, it's all going to be about the New Mexico defense this whole basketball game. Their ability to hold this Utah team down and not let this game get away in the first half.
Another inside pass. Jensen off the backboard.
It's a wonderful basketball you're seeing right now. Jensen with the throw and also with the cut right to the basket. Nice give and go. Jensen
had a 14-point, 12-rebound game 2 nights ago against UTEP. Here's a guy who's known for his defense role, but he shoots 52% from the floor.
Matter of fact, Coach Majerus wants him to shoot more and more and more, simply because he does have the skills to be able to put it up and help his basketball team. He's going to have to do more of that as the tournament goes on.
Under 10 minutes left in the opening half. New Mexico trying to shoot their way back in. Henry misses from long range. Miller on the drive to Jensen for 2 more.
Is that basic basketball or what? Fantastic. And Andre Miller just so unassuming and giving it to Jensen for the great finish. You know what? This is a fantastic play right here, too. You got a great execution as Harvey gets it, comes off, gets the basketball over to Cullen, who's cutting on the opposite side, so he didn't have much time to make a decision on this. Now watch the rotation, watch the catch, and a nice tip pass coming right around. It was a fantastic play right there, and a good timing play by Utah. And New Mexico has got to get that defensive structure up to make sure and cut off some of these plays and not let it be so easy for Utah to move that ball around.
As you look at Dave Bliss and his Lobos, 9:34 remaining. First half, Utah coming out to a 20-2 lead. The Lobos roll 1 of 14 from the floor, while the Utes have hit 9 of their first 15 shots.
This is a basketball team now that's fighting also for their NCAA chances. In a game like this, they cannot afford to come in here and get blown out and look to make that tournament next week.
Smith squares up, 3-pointer, bang. Also, Smith starting to warm up, the sophomore from Tucson, transferred out of the University of San Diego, and he's got 5 points. Or now they're going to call it a 2. Had it on the line.
Just the tip on the line, but still made the basket, which is a positive for New Mexico.
On the wing, up top, Harvey now to Cullen.
Watch the execution here by Utah. The picks are setting the movement of basketball. Nice open shot by Cullen. Drops another one.
Boy, Cullen, we saw him in practice yesterday. Majerus, I don't know if you would say rough on him, but he made him run some laps because he was teaching him how to play defense, where to put a shoulder on Smith, where to be when Kenny Thomas came down the baseline. Cullen has responded with 8 points off the bench.
You and I were talking about that. Some guys can't handle that, but I think he was showing just a lot of love to him because he knows the freshman has the great potential. And there's another difficult shot again by New Mexico, not getting clear looks at the basket. If that continues, they cannot possibly put points on the board enough to win this basketball game.
Well, Utah has the 3rd best defense in the country when you talk about points allowed, only 55 a game. 23-4, Utah ranked 12th in the country. Under 8 minutes ago, down low Jensen, ball was tipped.
Not only was that a great play, you're talking about a bullet pass by Andre Miller, but an even better catch by Jensen under that basket. Just a tremendous play.
Goaltending the call as Kenny Thomas got up, got a hand on him, but Jensen has been a spark. 6 points in Utah with a 21-point lead.
I'd like you to meet my family. We've been through a lot together, inspired by those who came before us, strengthened by those among us, and united by a love for our country.
Everyone wants to belong to something great. For thousands of men and women, there is nothing greater than to serve in your nation's Air Force.
So when all families look up, they will see blue skies and starry nights and the vision of a proud tomorrow.
Whoa, very nice.
No, I was talking about the pizza. Who delivered? Those toppings. It's everywhere. You mind telling me who delivered? This is a nightmare. Who delivered?
It's not delivery.
It's DiGiorno, the rising crust pizza that bakes up fresh like pizzeria pizza.
Great. I'll never know.
Okay, babe, here we go. Now, move over to the right. No, the other way, my right. A little more. A little more. Perfect.
How was it?
Beautiful.
If you think the Cavalier looks good, wait till you know it can go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. Chevy Cavalier. The more you know, the better it looks. Genuine Chevrolet.
My father's starting a new business, and he's been worried about income because he's not getting any, basically.
So we decided to come in and talk to Robert.
I recommended we talk to our fixed income department to possibly come up with different investment ideas that would be appropriate for them.
I tend to think you're a bit more risky than I like to be.
You know, the world doesn't stop growing just because you retire.
I helped guide them through some of the fixed income investments that were available. Typically, everyone has a common goal of financial security.
And I can feel secure feeling that my father is secure.
Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City. Here's a look at our game summary. 7:55 remaining in the first half, and the score is true. Utah 25, New Mexico 4, and the field goal, as you can see, New Mexico just struggling. 2 of 15 rebounding. Utah's dominated row 15/5.
They're struggling simply because they have no opportunity. And here's a guy, Kevin Henry, who usually takes standstill jumpers, but when he has to put it on the floor in the face of pressure, you can see what happens right here as he does not get a good shot off for New Mexico. Right now, with a guy like Kenny Thomas, he's going to have to be able to apply himself to get the basketball and also be a decoy to get other guys good shots. Because right now, the 0 points will not work for their basketball team, especially to get a win.
Averaging just over 19 a game. He's been one of the hottest players in Division I. Over the last 6 games, he shot 64%. He's averaging under just 25 points a game and nearly 10 rebounds. But so far, only 3 touches in this game. 3 shots for Kenny Thomas with 7:47 to go.
And they're limiting the touches, but right now they have to be able to get some good points right here. Now he is open.
Alt off the rebound. Thomas now 0 for 4. Andre Miller brings it down court for Utah.
You know something, they did get a good chance to get Thomas the ball right there, but the Utah defense closing so fast was able to get there before he was able to take a good shot.
Adam Sharp, who wears number 4, checking in for Utah. Also in Roland Hanna, a junior from Providence, Rhode Island, in for New Mexico. Miller, hang on that pivot foot, jumps it up. Sweet, soft touch. Andre Miller.
You're talking about a point guard posting up. This guy is tremendously fantastic on the low post. He's so comfortable, just like a power forward.
One of the top players in the game at the collegiate level. A Wooden Award finalist, a Naismith finalist, and an Oscar Robertson finalist.
He's just a fantastic player who can simply do it all, and has proven that this year.
Little bump underneath. Cullen got tangled up with Brian Smith.
You know, Andre's such a strong player and a great player also. He sees he has a little John Robinson down low on him. He's able to back in and drop the shot on him. He's very comfortable in the low post and also waiting for the double to make the play should a defender come over.
Cullen picks up his first.
You know, Craig, this is where a guy like Lamont Long has to establish himself right now. He's the one that can put the ball in the hole, just like on that play. He's the guy with the most talent right now, going left, going right, putting the ball on the floor, and the most versatile with the ball in his hands against a defense like Utah's.
So he got the mismatch. Althoff came up to meet him, put the ball on the floor, and with his quickness, able to dribble around. So Lamont Long, who scores nearly 18 a game, finally finds the bottom of the net. That makes it 27-6 Utah. Utes have made their last 7 shots from the floor. In the corner, how about 8? 8 in a row as Adam Sharp off the bench. The freshman, a redshirt freshman from Salt Lake, nails the jumper.
You know what? New Mexico was doing a very good job defensively on that play up until the last few seconds where they didn't follow Adam Sharp across the baseline and still got a great shot.
68% for Utah. Now that will help New Mexico's percentage with an easy layup for Kenny Thomas.
Well, that was the first play right now. We got a coordinated effort in which to get him the basketball down low, in which he didn't have to dribble the ball, and no defensive help was able to come in time. But they have to work so hard, though, Craig, to be able to just get one good open shot.
Althoff on the wing, up top Cullen, swings it around, Alex Jensen. Miller the cutter. Far side looking for three. Jensen backside rebound and puts it in with his left hand.
That's where it becomes so difficult also for the mismatch size with Lamont Long. Jensen was able to cut, get good position, and put it all together.
Jensen 4 for 4. Robinson misses. Thomas went up. The shot came out of his hand. Now a whistle. Well, with the conclusion of today's game, we will select the Chevrolet most valuable player of the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund, a tradition for over a quarter of a century.
Oh, Craig, plays like this are very, very important. It's just important for Lamont Long to be able to take that ball, because with him being so versatile, he's able to create not only for himself, but for the rest of his teammates. Guys like Kevin Henry who need the standstill shot to be able to be effective.
Smothering defense by Utah. Kenny Thomas, little jump hook. Nice shot by Kenny Thomas, his second bucket.
Nice pass right there by Greg Davis. Didn't hesitate. As soon as Kenny got the good position, he was able to throw a leading pass to the basket, which Thomas was able to finish.
Medela, Killian on the wing. Under 4.5 minutes in the opening half here in Salt Lake City. It's been all Utah.
Thomas laying way off of Althoff.
Medela with the shot clock down to 6. Miller wants it, baseline jumper, soft touch again, just rips the net.
And they were playing such very good defense all throughout right there. Lamont only had to stay behind Miller to make it a more difficult shot, but because of the reach, Andre took advantage.
Lamont Long, working baseline, rejected by Miller. And Medela gives it up to Kenny Thomas, hand up. He's blocked underneath, and the rebound goes in.
That's an excellent sequence right there, too, of takeaways and putbacks. And once again, it was a very, very good play by New Mexico to get on the board.
Greg Davis, who checked in, wears number 5, picks up the offensive board and the putback, his first bucket, and it's 33-12. Harvey, the floater. Oh, what a shot. Good elevation.
Excellent. No one's going to be able to stay with him once he elevates, because he's 6'5", can get up in the air, and also with the curl play that goes right into the lane, it makes it a short shot for Harvey.
Thomas, short on the jump hook. Killian, a little guy, pulls down the board for Utah. Coming up on the 3-minute mark of the first half.
Actually, that's a very good play right there, and getting Thomas the ball outside where he's dribbling in, being able to see the defense coming at him and get a good shot off. He's just not hitting those shots that he gets when he's wide open.
On 0 for 3. Short. Kevin Henry looking to the sideline is Dave Bliss. New Mexico had a strong second half. Let me remind you, against Brigham Young Road 2 nights ago. They really opened things up and won that game decisively, 85-64. They went on a 23-6 run in the second half down in Provo.
You get a chance to see what's happening in the first half and then come on out strong, especially a guy like Kevin Henry.
Thomas with authority. That ball fell right in his arms, and he popped the rim. His 6-point, 3 buckets. 2:07 to go in the half, 35-14. New Mexico you have to do it, Rolando. One bucket at a time.
Oh, you certainly do, and that's Thomas right there creating opportunity. He saw Henry with the jumper, but got himself in some good position for the dunk.
Miller trying to drive on Long. Hangs it up in the paint, and a whistle.
He's just so dangerous going to the bucket. Every time he goes to the basket, he did a little bit of the jump in right there. Got the contact and was able to put it together. Well, watch Kevin Henry. Well, watch Kenny Thomas right now getting himself positioned. We can't see that. Gets the basketball, and of course, with all the power that he has, he's able to take it up strong. But that's what he has to do, though. Have different places on the court, get himself involved in what's happening. But guys like Lamont Long and also Kevin Henry have to be able to put that ball in the hole when they do get a good opportunity.
That foul on Long, by the way, was the first whistled against the Lobos here in the first half. Substitutions. Jensen back in. Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights of the day. That's coming up in just a few minutes on the Pennzoil at the half. 1:49 remaining first half, and Andre Miller connects on both free throws. 6 points for Miller, and the Utes in command. We'll be back.
That's one race that I wish I could run over one more time.
The legendary Daytona 500 has broken a lot of hearts.
I was way out front in 1981, and that thing ran out of gas.
In 74, I blew a tire with 12 laps to go. But the biggest Daytona heartbreak of all would be trying to get into this year's 500 using an American Express card. So if you want to enjoy the heart-pounding excitement of Daytona, bring your Visa card, official card of NASCAR.
My girlfriend let me here at Daytona. I sure miss that car.
Nice seats. Watch this.
Excuse me, sir. I trade you a Wendy's chicken nugget for your seat. Sure.
This is more like it, man.
I can do better.
Nuggets for your seats? Sure.
Wendy's crispy chicken nuggets are irresistible pieces of all white meat that are crispy on the outside and juicy on the inside. Best yet, they're just 99 cents every day.
Sir, nuggets for your seat.
How do you think I got here?
Don't forget the nuggets.
Where do they find this one? Chapel Hill. Toxicology? Negative.
$10-10-220 lets you call all over the world at amazing low rates. Dial 10-10-220 and all calls within the U.S. and to Canada are only 99 cents for up to 20 minutes. Call most of Europe and it's only $1.99 for all calls up to 10 minutes and just 19 cents for each additional minute. Call Mexico and it's just $2.99 for all calls up to 10 minutes and only 34 cents for each minute after that. With 10-10-220, you save all day, every day. Dial 10-10-220 for great savings all over the world.
Utah leading New Mexico 37-14, and I just don't know if I can handle this, Rolando Blackman, but where are they now?
Oh, my goodness.
When I had a chance, when I heard we were going to work together, I thought there's no way two Kansas State graduates of 1981 could find themselves back next to one another. Hey, your hair looks good.
No,
I had too much.
Definitely so, and I'm looking real terrible as far as that's concerned, too. I hope this is the last time we see that picture.
Oh, my. Yes, please. That was plenty. We had a great time, though, at Kansas State between the two of us. Too bad you never talked to me. How about Dave Bliss? As you look to the second half, Rolando, what will be the words of encouragement? I think, can you build off the fact you had a big second half two nights ago against Brigham Young in Provo?
I think right now you just have to calm them down. You have to give them some structural things to do and give them some easy things to do. And I think for me, New Mexico does very well when they're in that motion offense. It gives Long a chance to go to his talent. Also, it gives Robinson a chance, and also everybody gets an opportunity to get in on the fray.
Long dribbling against Harvey up top. Smith tries to lob it low. Tough pass to make, and it's knocked away by Utah. You wanted Kenny Thomas on the low block. That starts a fast break, and no whistle. Loose ball. Killian has it.
Jensen had a nice play. Jensen had a nice play coming right down, and that ball just slipped right out of his hand. He couldn't have been more open.
Miller to Otto Metzola. Well, they played on that Finn national team. Brought a player in his own land. Jensen hits the deck. Long on the shot. Loose ball. Metzola. Back to Jensen. Harvey. Baseline. Gets his hand in the air and a whistle.
That's a great sequence once again. Good ball movement and everyone going to the basket as Harvey finishes up and gets a chance for two.
Well, Wednesday on CBS, don't miss Grammy Award winner Shania Twain in her first network television special with performances by Elton John and the Backstreet Boys. Wednesday right here on CBS.
Right now New Mexico is going to have to get it going by that good movement and also run a little decoy more than that, getting Thomas on the low block on the first initial play, because Utah defense is just ready to react as the last time he had a triple team on him, Craig.
Harvey makes the first. He's a 60% shooter. 9 points, nearly 3 boards a game for Harvey. High arcing rainbow, win it in and out, and Kenny Thomas pulls it down. Under a minute to go in the half. Robinson for the Lobos brings it up court. Guarded by Jensen. They like to do a little weave with this 3-guard lineup. Thomas, power move, no whistle. In the corner, shot falls. A 2-pointer for Bryant Smith. That's 3 buckets, 6 points.
Well, did you see what happens, though, Craig, with the movement, though? That's what you need right there. After that, you get to Thomas on the decoy play, get him a chance to make a play with the scoring or passing.
Now the crowd with a chorus of boos as Kenny Thomas got a little beef in the lane.
Antonio Harvey right there felt the pressure of those 260 pounds.
Well, Tuesday on CBS, a child's brutal murderer leads to the relentless pursuit of a killer. Trisha Yearwood guest stars on a powerful all-new Jag. That's Tuesday night right here on CBS.
Good basketball team now. Thomas gets it after a couple of weeks, but look at Tony take that play right there, but he gets a good pass right on over to Smith for the shot. It has to be that way for New Mexico. It has to be a weave, the movement, then get it to Thomas on the secondary play and allow him to utilize that All-America talent to score or to make the pass for the play.
That was basically 260 pounds against 190. I think you know who usually wins.
He'll win all the time, and with less pain, too.
Phil Cullen holds it. Lobos went for the steal. Long back in his defensive set. Killian with 3 on the shot clock. Lets it fly. No. Sharp on the backside. Couldn't get the tip. And no shot at the buzzer. That ends the first half. The score, Utah 38, New Mexico 16. Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg will be along with Pennzoil at the half right after these messages.
Introducing Smoky Red Barbecue Doritos. With a loud barbecue taste that'll get the place smoking.
Fire in the sky.
Smoky Red Barbecue Doritos Tortilla Chips. Umbrellas not included.
All right, listen up. Coach's plane is stuck in Idaho. But since it's our first bowl game... Coach?
Get in there and hit somebody now! Baby, go! Go! No, somebody get him! Somebody get him! They didn't come to play today. First down!
Presenting video conferencing.
Do I have to go in there and do it for you?
Because sometimes it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Kinko's. Express yourself.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
Hi, everyone. Greg Gumbel in New York. Coming up, Clark Kellogg and I will have scores, highlights, and all the NCAA tournament news. That's after this message and a word from your local station.
Jack forgot his briefcase.
I can see him.
Don't worry. We both have Nextel.
He's crossing the street. Phone him.
Nah, it's too easy. I can text page him. Yeah, where's the fun in that?
If he gets to the airport without the presentation, we're dead.
Time for the secret weapon. Two-way radio feature. Right about now. Hey, Jack. Hold up, my man. I think you... Jack?
Nextel's integrated features make ordinary cell phones seem ordinary.
America Online users. For complete up-to-the-minute sports coverage, news, scores, and stats, go to keyword CBS Sportsline on America Online.
The address is CBS. Welcome home.
Something's got me, won't let me be. That hungry feeling's coming over me. And when it hits, I just step in line. And I live with a great feeling every time. Don't hold back, just sit right back.
Picture yourself in America's favorite recliner, a genuine Lazy Boy recliner from R.C. Willey. Now picture this. For a limited time, come to R.C. Willey and get a $25 rebate on the Lazy Boy recliner of your choice. Genuine Lazy Boy recliners at R.C. Willey are now priced as low as $199, plus get a $25 rebate. Lazy Boy recliners for everyone. Register to win a fabulous Lazy Boy recliner. So come into R.C. Willey today. We'll make you smile. Nobody beats R.C. Willey for Lazy Boy. Nobody.
This is Chevy Suburban, the biggest passenger vehicle on the face of the planet, period. It's perfect for our Rocky Mountain 4x4 driving. Its powerful Vortec V8 engine lets you tow just about anything. Plus, it seats 9, and you've still got room for all of this. But what's really important, right now your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer has more Suburbans than ever. So if getting where you're going with everything you need is really important to you, get into Suburban. I did.
Today's game is brought to you locally by Rocky Mountain Chevrolet dealers. Today's game.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pennzoil at the Half. I'm Greg Gumbel with the score at halftime. 38-16. Utah is leading New Mexico. Clark Kellogg joins me. The first time these teams met, February 1st, it was a 34-18 score at halftime. There's a defensive hex Utah holds over New Mexico.
What you call it, Greg, is Saran Wrap D. Airtight. Any good shots New Mexico has gotten, they haven't made, and they've not gotten a lot of.
Saran Wrap D. Thank you very much. All right, elsewhere, Cincinnati and Memphis, their only regular season meeting. They're in the first half right now. First half winding down, and the Bearcats in charge by a score of 31-19. Earlier today in the Big East, Villanova, big win over St. John, 66-60, waving the Villanova flag at the pavilion, and the crowd fired up for St. John's. John Celestin.
Love to see that transition three, bang, by Celestin.
Eric Barkley drives the lane, puts in 2, St. John's within 3, but Malik Allen will score on a fadeaway jumper to put Villanova up. They won by 4. James Worthy with Coach Steve Lapis.
Got to think, James, that we're in there, homie. We got 20 wins. We beat number 6 in the nation. I got to think it's pretty good. I don't know, though. I'm not on the committee.
Steve Lapis is looking forward to the committee's decision. What do you think, Clark?
I think they're there. That's a huge win at the right time for a Villanova team.
Villanova 20-9 now for the year. Big South Championship game. Winthrop 86-74 over the Highlanders from Radford. Fans getting in the spirit as conference championship week begins. Watch Radford's Leslie Ballard.
Here he is from deep in transition. I love that transition 3, but Winthrop rallies back. Hassan Groves from Tyson Waterman throws it down. We're tied at 51.
Roger Toxey drives inside, then pulls up for the jumper. That kept Winthrop ahead 75-72. They go on to win the Big South Championship, and Coach Greg Marshall and his Eagles headed for their first ever NCAA tournament berth. The TAC Championship goes to Samford. The Bulldogs 89-61 winners over UCF. The Golden Knights, Samford head coach Jimmy Tillett hoping to lead his squad to the tournament with a win. In this championship game, junior guard Mario Lopez finishes on the cut inside.
And here we take a look at Chris Weaver, a spark all day. Nice driving layup by Weaver.
Forward Mark Salyers provided offensive punch for Samford, hit the jumper. Samford into the tournament. They win the TAC championship, going away 89-61. Now, teams that are in the tournament, Winthrop from the Big South, Samford from the TAC. A couple of other teams could make the tournament tonight. Stanford could lock up the Pac-10. Penn could claim the Ivy League. In the SEC, Auburn over Mississippi State 65-54, and in the Big Ten, the Buckeyes, the Buckeyes fall to Penn State 98-85, the final score there. A reminder, the NCAA tournament just 12 days away. Make sure you keep up with all the important stats, news, and notes by logging on to the Tournament Live section at CBS Sportsline. Just click on cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline. Coming up, we'll get you caught up on more of today's scores and highlights when Pennzoil at the Half continues. Phil Cullen and the Utah Utes dunking New Mexico in grand fashion so far today.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield, even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Folks, your Colonel's shaking things up with my new extra crispy chicken. Right now, get 8 pieces plus 6 of my honey barbecue wings, just $9.99. That price ain't gonna last, so shake a leg.
We're finally winning. Today, more people are quitting smoking than ever. And a lot of them are doing it with Nicoderm CQ. CQ's got the 3 steps, the gradual step-down method doctors prefer to help get you free. So how many have quit with Nicoderm CQ? Why, we'd have to build the biggest stadium in America just to hold them all. Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit. We're saving a seat for you.
If this is you, communications has finally caught up with the way you live. Introducing AT&T Personal Network. All the ways you want to communicate in one network with the same low rate of 10 cents a minute on your calls, even wireless. One bill, one number to call for more personalized service. Just call 1-800-4ATT now or visit our website. AT&T Personal Network. It could change forever the way you communicate. Call 1-800-4ATT now.
Folks, your Colonel's shaking things up with my new extra crispy chicken. Right now, get 8 pieces plus 6 of my honey barbecue wings, just $9.99. That price ain't gonna last, so shake a leg.
CBS rocks with this year's double Grammy winner Shania Twain and special guest Elton John. Shania Twain's first network special, CBS Wednesday.
Cool.
Now you can watch all the games of the first 3 rounds in their entirety as DirecTV supplements CBS's coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship. CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome back to Pennzoil at the Half. I'm Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg, getting you caught up on some early action from today. We'll start in the SEC, where the Gamecocks of South Carolina broke a 7-game losing streak in overtime over Georgia Bulldogs. B.J. Mackey honored today. He had a big day all the way around, Clark.
He did everything and did it well. Here he is scoring off the dribble for 2 of his points today.
10 seconds left in regulation. Michael Chadwick for John Nordine on the baseline to tie it and send it into overtime. But in overtime, Mackey to Aaron Lucas gives South Carolina a 3-point lead. They win it by 4, 70-66 in overtime, the final. In the Big 12, the Missouri Tigers over the 23rd ranked Longhorns of Texas, 54-47. Texas Governor George W. Bush on hand. He saw a good one today.
And he saw a good player in Albert White, who went for 23 points and 8 boards for the Tigers.
Here's Texas grabbing its first lead of the game. Forward Chris Clack, loose basketball, goes in, easy 2. The crowd enjoys it, but in a tight game. Senior guard John Wood puts the Tigers up. He nails the 3. The Tigers 20-7 on the year now, 54-47 over Texas. In the ACC, 5th-ranked Maryland, 84-75 winners over the Seminoles of Florida State. The mascot showing off his wares for Florida State. Seminoles hosting Maryland and Davis Anderson.
Here you take a look. Anderson going to come up with the pilfer. He's going to throw it down, and at that point, the Seminoles led by 3, 15-12.
But watch Laron Profit steal the pass, makes the nice move to the hoop, score 2 for Maryland. They were up 46-37 at that point, went on to record their 25th win of the season, 13 of them in the ACC, a school record, 84-75 the final. In the Big East, 13th ranked Miami Hurricanes, 21st win of the year, 68-63 over Rutgers. Tim James, along with Rick Barry, only Miami players to have their numbers retired, and they came out running. Salmons feeding Johnny Hemsley, and then Mr. James.
Doing it inside. He wears a size 17 shoe. It's full of yeast, both of them, as he throws it down in the paint.
James and Salmons connect again, this time on the alley-oop. Time dwindling down. Scarlet Knights have their last effort spoiled by who else? Tim James will block the 3-point attempt. Miami holds on, knocks off the Scarlet Knights 68-63. In the Big Ten, the Michigan Wolverines, their first win in 8 conference road games. They waxed Wisconsin 51-39. Wisconsin coach Dick Bennett didn't know what was in store for him today.
Well, he takes a look at Lou Bullock give the Wolverines an 11-point lead after banking in that three-pointer.
Wisconsin did battle back, though. John Bryant off the screen, top of the key, bingo. Badgers within 3, but later, Peter Vignier with the steal. They go to Lewis Bullock.
Nice outlet pass here, catches Lewis Bullock in stride, and the Wolverines with an impressive road win.
Heading for the Big Ten tournament, Wisconsin has lost 5 of 7. Michigan wins at 51-39. In the Atlantic 10, the Colonials of George Washington by 3, 77-74. What a great game this was. George Washington fans cheering. Close game at the Charles Smith Center.
Posey in transition over 2 Colonials to tie it at 61.
Final possession of the game now. Shante Rogers misses a 3. Ball batted around. Who's it go back to? Shante Rogers at the buzzer. Three-pointer is good. His 5th of the day. He was 5 of 11 from behind the three-point line. 18 points. George Washington wins at 77-74. One more score. Arkansas and Alabama. The Crimson Tide, a big win at home, 84-79 over the Razorbacks. We want to remind you, be sure to join us tomorrow at noon Eastern time for another college basketball triple header. In game 1, you'll see either number 11 Kentucky at Tennessee or Temple at UMass. Then, some of you will see number 4 UConn against 20th ranked Syracuse. Others will see Kansas at Iowa State. And it all wraps up with the Big Ten regular season champions, 3rd ranked Michigan State against Purdue. CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four continues in a moment.
Hate to tell you, but we're looking at a negative sales trend coupled with high overhead. Frankly, I'm worried about capital preservation. Let me put it this way. Look, we're just not meeting our goals. Tell you what, give me more eggs, I'll give you more corn. Otherwise, we may have to diversify.
Sometimes it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Kinko's, express yourself.
Morning, Frank.
Morning.
How do you plan on funding your retirement? Conseco's annuities and mutual funds can help. Conseco, step up.
When Ray meets the 69 Mets.
Take a hike, Barone.
Will he strike out?
We're good friends, me and Tugboat. He doesn't like you, sir.
And all new Raymond, CBS Monday.
Craig Kilborn, coming to CBS March 30th.
In the heart of the West, there's a story behind every Ford Oval.
Okay, so we're driving up the canyon, and my daughter asks me,
Mommy, do cars have brains?
Right then, we hit a patch of snow, and my Explorer automatically switched into four-wheel drive. So I said, I think ours does, honey.
99 Ford Explorer with the intelligence of control-track four-wheel drive and low 1.9% financing.
Mommy, where do cars go to the bathroom?
For your story, see your Heart of the West Ford store.
Oh, who's dangerous?
Get tough with me.
Why you?
Don't throw it. Don't throw it.
No, don't!
We didn't invent messy food. We just perfected it.
Listen, you. If
It don't get all over the place.
it don't belong in your face.
Today's game is brought to you locally by your Utah Dodge dealers.
Of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by KFC. Home of the new extra crispy chicken. Still the crunchiest KFC chicken ever. Kinko's, express yourself. And by Adams Golf, leading by design.
Back inside the Jon M. Huntsman Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah, with a commanding 38-16 lead. Let's take a look at our halftime numbers brought to you by Conseco. And Rolando, the numbers basically tell the entire story of this game. The shots have been there for the Lobos, but yet only connecting 8 of 28, while the Utes are 16 of 28. Look at the rebounding. Double up there. 22 boards for the Utes, 11 for New Mexico.
Greg, it's just been a total domination. That's what it's been. It's been very, very difficult all throughout to be able to get it on for them, too. And every time they tried to get the ball to Kenny Thomas, you can see the Utah defense. Watch this seal right here. Got off a bad shot simply because the defense is just too strong as Thomas touches the ball. And on offense, they're just moving themselves the ball and also their body. As you can watch Phil Cullen come on through from the low post and is able to get a nice shot up there for Utah.
Second half underway. And Rolando, the first thought is Dave Bliss had quite a job at halftime trying to talk to these young men. And remember, though, I think they have to build on the fact this team is very explosive. They average nearly 80 points a game as Medela buries a three. Hano Medela, who was so hot in the first half, hitting 4 of his first 5, now with a dozen.
You know what, Craig, anytime you say something at halftime and someone comes out and hits a 3, I'll tell you what, it sure shocks whatever a coach can tell you at halftime.
But again, though, this 3-guard lineup of Lamont Long and Henry and Robinson are explosive, along with Kenny Thomas. But again, it's hard to make shots with defense like that.
Very, very difficult. But one thing New Mexico's going to have to do is to continue to keep their energy up and their skills in communicating to themselves.
Rebound and a putback by Jensen. Boy, Jensen 4 of 6 in the first half. He's now in double figures with 10.
Well, right now, New Mexico's just getting dominated. Not only can they score on their offensive end by looking to get a good play, but also on the offensive end that they play. It's been very difficult for them.
Kenny Thomas brings his game outside, 9 points. He hit 3 threes Thursday night against Brigham Young.
He's been stepping outside, which is why he's been averaging 25 points a game in the last 6 games. He's going to have to do a lot more of that in the last 18 minutes.
43-19, Utah. Ranked 12th in the country, and Moose Stubing calls a whistle. Henry picks up the foul. Dave Bliss, and I know he wouldn't like to hear this, but it's the lowest first half total as a head coach at New Mexico. 16 first half points.
Craig, you got to know, though, they're playing against a Utah team that's 3rd in the nation in scoring defense. So these guys only give up 55 points. And if you come in here and are not ready, you can really get blown out. And that's what's happening right now.
Jensen tripped up in a whistle. It'll be against Lamont Long. His second. And Jensen, the heart and soul of this defense, is down.
Got hurt a little bit here too, but you can see a little bit of a mismatch when he got Lamont Long down on the low post and went to the basket and slipped a little bit. I don't know what he hit on the floor, but check it out though. A big mismatch right here is Jensen 6'10" going against Lamont Long. Goes to the bucket. Lamont throws out the little knee a little bit right there, and he gets hit and takes it for a little bit right in the face.
Oh, he got the cut. Yeah,
did he fall into Kenny Thomas's knee?
Yeah, he's got himself a pretty good cut there. Just looks like above the eyebrow. That's going to be his left side. And we talked to Rick Majerus plenty, and nothing but praise for this young man, and only a junior out of Centerville, Utah product, and says, you know what, this guy, toughest player I've ever coached. And that's a compliment, knowing you've had an Andre Miller, a Keith Van Horn, a Michael Doliak, a Drew Hansen.
And he's had a guy who's come out here and played a tremendous basketball game today and getting a great deal of rebounds, also moving the ball. And he's a key cog in what they do, simply because he's an all-skilled athlete, defensively, offensively, and is very smart and very tough. So they're going to miss him also the rest of the second half.
Bridge of the nose, or just below the left eyebrow. Alex Jensen gets a standing ovation. He leaves this game, and I'm sure stitches are on the way, but with 10 points.
Just a nice standing ovation. Now the rest of the Utah team's going to have to step up without the skills of Jensen in there. Leaves it up to Nate Altoff right now, and Phil Cullen to fill that void.
And we talked about how tough Alex Jensen is. I've got a feeling stitches, and then maybe about the 5-minute mark he'll be back.
You know something, Craig? I would not be surprised.
I'm going to bet on it.
I would not be surprised.
Harvey checks in for Utah. Outlet pass goes out to Killian on the inbound. 18 minutes left in the first half. Andre Miller backs in, baseline, dumps it underneath. All-time offensive Nope.
We're talking about a dangerous player right there. The same thing we were talking about in the first half. You got a great player in the low post in Miller who's taking John Robinson down there. Kenny Thomas comes over and says, hey, let me give my little man a help right here. But that leaves Nate Althoff open. Goes right to the bucket for the easy 2.
Althoff with his second bucket. 3-point opportunity, and he makes good on it. 5 points, and the foul was on Lamont Long.
That's when you just have a great player and you feed off of him and his great skill.
Switch off Henry for 3. Short, but gets the bounce and the drop. So Henry breaks a drought and hits the 3 ball.
Those are the good plays right there, too. A nice pick coming off for Henry, and he was able to stop and drop that 3. Need a lot more of that, those types of plays.
Had a big second half 2 nights ago. Had 17 of his 20 in the second half against BYU. Streaky shooter. 46-22 to count. All top baseline, guarded by Thomas. Back out to Miller on the wing.
Althoff calling for the ball in there, too, against Thomas.
Medela backed in, backs out. Harvey as they switch it up. Short on the jumper.
Good
and
defense.
The rebound goes out to Robinson.
Excellent defense right there, too. It's the first time I've seen Utah take a 4th shot. With some good New Mexico defense and a nice play by Robinson. Going to the basket, finding the open Smith. Get an easy play.
8 points for Brian Smith and a 20-second timeout called by Utah. Well, the Academic All-Stars recognize one player on each team for academic excellence, and for today's game, the All-Stars from Pizza Hut are Brian Smith for New Mexico and Hanno Metala for the University of Utah. History for Brian Smith, and Hanno studying economics.
Guys are doing a great job, too. That's not all we can talk about on the Utah side, is how many academic All-Americans they have on their team. Great many All-Stars.
And Rolando, we talked about the importance of this game. When you talk RPI ratings, Duke a solid #1, Michigan, Stanford. Utah checks in at 33, New Mexico 89 in those RPI ratings. And note, lowest rated team to ever make the tournament, number 69, Georgia, back in '91. That's the concern. New Mexico has the wins at 22-6, but it's the strength of schedule that has them concerned about whether or not they can land in the tournament.
I completely agree with you. As everyone looks at this basketball game and trying to find out should they belong, is that they cannot come in here and get blown out. They've got to make a run in the second half of this game, or if they do lose this game, you and I both know they've got to at least get to the finals of the WAC tournament or win the WAC tournament to get in.
Well, the Utes have doubled up New Mexico, 48-24 as Hanno Metala got the roll on that soft jumper. Long swings it up top. Smith had the shot, gave it up. Now kicks to his guard, Henry. They feed Thomas. Squares up, good look. In, out, off the rim, and a rebound from Metala.
Good execution on that time by New Mexico. Got Thomas the ball in which he was off the block a little bit and was able to get a nice shot over Althoff without the double team.
Under 16 minutes left. Metala faked the 3. Althoff kicks it back. Hanno, the big man, really good with the dribble. Patience. Miller lost the handle. Ball kick. Andre picks it up with only 8 on the shot. Thomas with a "it's mine" rebound with authority.
Exactly right. Swinging those arms a little bit too with authority.
3-point shot short. Starts a fast break down to Harvey. Oh, he's hit underneath and a whistle. And Majerus is out wanting the breakaway. And Harvey is down.
And he got hit pretty hard too. Kevin Henry saw Harvey coming down that lane. Didn't exactly do a regular takeout move, but got in the way when he took flight. And they met right when he was in the air.
And the argument was heard by the guys in stripes, and they do whistle the breakaway, intentional.
Harvey right now is going airborne right here. And that was a nice little takeout play by Henry as he made sure and got a nice elbow in there as Harvey was coming through. Watch this play though, watch the elbow right here. Right in through as Harvey went airborne and caught him right in the air. It's a good call by the officials.
Henry with 2 fouls as Metala will shoot the free throw. Metala steps out and Harvey will shoot.
Oh, the technical foul situation right here. Harvey has to come up and step up and hit these shots.
Now you see the smile break across the face of Tony Harvey on a Cerritos Junior College, a transfer for Rick Majerus. I think he's fine.
Oh, he's fine. He's feeling good right now, being able to put the ball in the hole. But the important factor is that he's not another hurt player on that play, because he could have gotten really hurt the way he was airborne.
One more for Harvey, and Rolando, of course, questions as he misses the second. Is that clean, hard basketball, or is that frustration, you think, by New Mexico?
I just think he was just trying to not let him get an easy basket. I don't think Henry's a dirty player at all whatsoever. I just think he just tried to get in the way and not let him get the ball in the hole.
Timeout. 15:15 to go.
Arriving at last, from Saturn, the world's first three-door coupe. Why didn't anyone think of this before?
Police Commission is promising safe streets in Chinatown. Detective Daniel Wallace. Detective Nicholas Chen.
Why does a white cop request the Asian gang unit? A chance to work with you. You don't change Chinatown, it changes you.
Two men who can't be bought. Two cops who won't be stopped. Chow Yun-fat, Mark Wahlberg. The Corruptor. Rated R. Starts Friday, March 12th.
Mikey, listen to me. This is your broker talking, okay? Hey, Alex, I'll be with you a minute, okay? All right. Sorry about that. You and me on a golf course tomorrow. What, you didn't three-putt that hole?
Where are you on your broker's speed dial? Look out for #1 with E-Trade, the #1 rated place to invest online. Get free real-time quotes, 10 times more research, all from $14.95. Someday, we'll all invest this way. E-Trade. Check it out for free at etrade.com.
The LAPD's Dream Team is going to the track to investigate a murder, and you won't believe what Sammo does to get his man. Martial Law, CBS tonight.
Monday on CBS, Ray and his brother are on the road to meet their boyhood heroes, the '69 Miracle Mets, with special appearances by Buddy Harrelson, Cleon Jones, Tug McGraw, Tommy Agee. You got to tune in on an all-new Everybody Loves Raymond Monday on CBS. .15 remaining. Utah by 24. Inbounds pass goes into Medela. Harvey the rebound, and he gets a roll.
That was just a great play right there by Harvey. Understanding Medela was taking the shot out of the corner. Again, on the weak side, getting in good position with his height over Henry. Got that ball in.
Harvey has given Rick Majerus 5 minutes. Now he's playing Andre Miller and Harvey in the backcourt.
Some great energy being applied.
Thomas on the dribble drive, takes it up for the big jam.
That was the power move right there.
What that shows you is the quickness off the drive on the dribble by Kenny Thomas. And Ro, he's about 15 pounds lighter than he was a year ago.
Definitely so. He's only carrying 260 pounds this time, but I think it was a great play simply because he waited until the defender, Medela, on the weak side, had his back turned and was able to go with a split of the quickness with power to the bucket. Nice finish.
11 points with Thomas, and make it 12 as he makes good on the three-point opportunity. 50-27, Utah.
You have to know that hopefully New Mexico's learning a little bit from this also when they find another team that they can apply some pressure.
Uncontested, wide open three. Medela having a game with 17. He's been in double figures now, 25 of 28 games this season.
seriously applying his skill.
Andre Miller the steal, takes it up, lays it in.
Tremendous anticipation right there. He knew exactly where John Robinson was going to throw that ball, put the hand there, and was able to get a nice layup. Great anticipation by the All-American.
Now look, the career steals leader at the University of Utah put another one in the pocket. Backboard to Long, rolls it in. Lamont Long, his second bucket.
Great connection right there by Greg Davis. Had the ball above his head, looking very, very well. Lamont Long comes with a hard cut. And an athletic finish also on the play.
Medela fakes the three, kicks it up a little high, but taken down by Andre Miller. Looking for a lane out to Harvey. 13 on the shot clock. Baseline. Miller.
But you see what I mean? The conviction for defense right there, too. He had Miller there for the second and let it go by. Miller was able to put it on through.
Althoff with another board. 10 rebounds for Nate Althoff.
Right now, Thomas has got frustrated right there a little bit. Right to the elbow, high elbow to Althoff.
He wants it, gets it over Davis, and pops the rim. 7 for Nate, along with 10 rebounds.
And a big run right now. Big run right now, too, to get Althoff right down in the low post. There's no weak side help as he establishes position right here. Great pass by Miller, who's able to take it right through and put it on down.
Look at, hey, will we write 5 stitches taken by Alex Jensen? He's been off the floor about 6 minutes, and he's back.
Craig, you can call it, Craig. You can call it. I was thinking with all that blood that I saw, the guy was going to take the time off, but here he's back.
Well, he must have put a pint in him. As much as he how much he lost.
Man.
And he's back with 5 stitches.
That's like Rick Majerus said, what a tough cookie I'm dealing with right here. This one doesn't crack.
And Utah with a 30-point lead. Kevin Henry working on Harvey. Little crossover, floated up. No. Calling the rebound.
It was a nice move right there by Henry, who just couldn't get it to drop on a great individual move.
Andre Miller slows the tempo, Cullen around the horn. Harvey dumps it to Medela. Backs in on a foot. Shot wouldn't go. The tip by Jensen.
Right under the bucket, waiting. Lionel Medela with another step-through move. But Jensen on the air just waiting for great anticipation.
Picks up the offensive board and the little tip. A dozen for Alex Jensen. CBS's sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this word from your local station.
How do I look? How do I look? How do I look?
Very good. I must say, I'm amazed.
I am a very stylish girl.
The new Volvo S80. My goodness.
A very stylish girl.
The address is CBS.
Welcome home.
16 years ago, they said it couldn't be done. A bobsled team from Jamaica, they said no way could we take on the competition. They said the same thing about Teleamerica. They said the Utah-based long-distance company couldn't compete with the big 3. Well, they were wrong about both of us. Hard work and dedication have taken us farther than we ever could have imagined. But we'll both never forget where we started. Teleamerica is committed to Utah, and we're both still giving the big guys a run for their money.
Mr. 4x4. Everything for 4x4. Sport, use, and so much more. It's all here in one great store. Mr. 4x4.
Mr. 4x4, your sport utility and 4x4 headquarters.
For years now, I've been telling you that Chevy full-size is the longest-lasting, most dependable truck on the road. Well, not anymore. There's a new full-size truck that's bigger, faster, stronger, and smarter. It's the all-new Chevy Silverado. Test drive Silverado, and you'll buy. Visit your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer in Utah or Wyoming today.
Congressman Merrill Cook says he's the victim of a smear campaign.
Well, Utah cruising by New Mexico, 61-29. Tomorrow, CBS is the home office of hoops with triple header action in the opener. You'll see Kentucky tangle with Tennessee, or Temple battles UMass. Next, UConn takes on Syracuse, or Kansas takes on Iowa State. And the nightcap, Mateen Cleaves and the Spartans battle Gene Keady's Boilermakers. Great lineup. Check your local listings for the games in your area tomorrow here on CBS. First game, Rowe, at the pit, February 1st. Points, 39 by New Mexico today, only 29. The shooting, very similar. 3-point shots, they took 15 today, 8.
Greg, they're dealing with some serious defensive pressure. See what I mean? It's a good play right there by Kenny Thomas, who's an excellent passer. John Robinson was floating right down the lane, open, but didn't realize it and was hit with the pass.
Medela spots up for 3.
Hano's on a roll. Man, he's killing.
4 3-pointers for Hano Medela. He had 17 in the pit back on February 1st, and he just comes up with the steal. And today, 20. I think Medela has basically figured out New Mexico's defensive scheme as he shoots another 3. That tip by Jensen.
These guys are fantastic. They've been putting it all together offensively and also defensively. But the pressure that they put on New Mexico is on both ends of the court.
11:20 to go. 66-29. Utah. Robinson along in the corner. Got it by Jensen with 5 stitches. Long needs some help. Hanging on that pivot foot. And now a little tangle, and Thomas hits the deck. Cullen and Thomas really a battle in the paint.
And Cullen is doing a great job, though. Going on out there. Watch Medela open once again. But again, we see my man Jensen is right there on the opposite side with no blocking out. But watch this. Watch Cullen battling right here, too. Thomas getting a little frustrated. Puts it to him. Gets the ball back for Utah.
Second foul on Kenny Thomas. Another 3-ball by Cullen. The rebound goes to Lamont Long. 66-29.
This is where Lamont Long has to go, though. Has to utilize that skill that he has to put the ball on the floor and go to the bucket.
John Robinson. Boy, it's basically be 1 and out. The lead to Cullen. Up to Harvey, dropped it out of bounds. But rebounding has not been a strength today for New Mexico. 1 shot and out.
Oh, yeah, they're getting dominated also 30-13, and that was just a few minutes ago.
Now let's check out this the CBS Sportsline stat of the game and rebounding. Definitely the stat. 32 boards for the Utes. Lobos with 14. Medela with 10. For complete college basketball coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com.
It's gotten to the point where the guys aren't even looking at the bucket, though, Craig. They're just trying to make the next pass and see exactly what they can do as the shot clock is going down. And Utah continues to apply that great pressure.
Cullen reached in, slapped it away, and now a whistle and a foul on Henry. A push on Cullen. And that's going to be 3 on Kevin Henry.
You know, it really is a tough day for Dave Bliss in New Mexico right now, just trying to put something together that would work. And as they try to probe and trying to find the way that would work, they have to face a defense that's really tough and with relentless pressure.
Medela rejected from behind by Thomas. Loose ball, and Kenny Thomas corrals it at midcourt. Thomas, relentless defense. Jensen again got a hand slap. Miller up and in.
Did you see that fantastic play? A great look-off right there by Andre Miller, going right to the bucket.
68-29, a clinic. You could send this tape around any place in the country.
These guys are very, very strong. Now watch the steal right here by Jensen. And you get it on off to Andre Miller. But watch the fantastic move. Watch the look off right there. It pulls Robinson out of position and able to go right to the bucket. Great play right there by Miller. And great defense by the Utes.
Best point guard in the country.
Oh, he's fantastic. Oh, definitely so. He's the guy that's most mature and most understanding of how to lead a basketball team. He'll be able to do that at the next level.
Double-double for Andre. 20 points, 11 assists, 2 boards. Robinson lost his footing. Slips it out to Long. Double team. Stolen by Jensen.
They're just applying some serious pressure right here, too. Lamont Long's taking that ball to the bucket. And Jensen just seems to get a good play on the hand movement right there and knocks the ball out.
Utah on a 13-0 run. 68-29. And Rolando, I think the question Lobo fans have to ask, and what will be a soul search in the next few days, is how New Mexico will regroup. They're the 2nd seed in the WAC tournament in Las Vegas. And you have to worry just about recovery, not physically, but mentally. Miller, too strong on the 3 and a whistle.
They just have to move. They just have to move from here now and continue to play with energy. Dave Bliss has to massage the mental side right now of New Mexico and making sure that their direction is applied on the court to execution, getting back to the good plays that trying to work, that's been working the last 6 games, and not so much worry about what the score is right now and the bad feeling that these guys are going to have because they have more games to go right now to be able to get into this tournament.
Nate Althoff at the free throw line will shoot 2. Check that, 1-1.
That was real funny right there. Nate Althoff got those free throws, got caught down there with John Robinson. And Robinson was trying to do his very best to block out.
Long kicks it up to Robinson. Trying to work the weave. Thomas breaks free, but Althoff quickly recovers.
We saw these practice yesterday, too. We saw the energy given out. There's an open shot.
Robinson couldn't hit it. Thomas went up with a rebound on the deck. Well, he's hustling. Thomas has not given up on effort. Miller on the break, feeds. Nice pass, Jensen, and the jam goes down. That's Tyson Johnston.
You can see how much fun these guys are having in giving the ball up to their teammate, but they're ready.
The Lobos have not hit a field goal in the last 6 minutes. That ends there with a 3-point shot. Brian Smith hits the double-figure mark with 11.
You know, you look to think, would it have been different if they had started hitting those 3-point shots early in the game? And you never know, because once you get down in a place like the Pit, I mean, a place like Huntsman, against a team like Utah, it's just very difficult to get your game in order.
They've changed that. It's a 2-pointer. Smith had his foot on the line, so it's 70-31. Coming up on the 7-minute mark here in the second half. Andre Miller playing his final home game as a running Ute. Pops the 3. He was hit as he released, and a foul on Robinson.
That was actually a good play. That was actually a bad play by Robinson, too. He was trying to get himself a nice sneak play right there, and hoping the referee wouldn't see that. But he was right on it, and he stood right behind Andre Miller.
At the line for the University of Utah, number 24, Andre Miller. Miller shooting 3.
Andre was fouled as he shot the 3, so 3 free throws coming his way. Well, Sunday on 60 Minutes, if you want to know who really wields the power in Washington, you have to look no further. It's a man named Tommy Boggs, the king of the lobbyists. That story Sunday on 60 Minutes.
Right now, just New Mexico has to make sure and continue to apply themselves. Continue to try to do the things that got them that 5-game winning streak, because they know that they have to apply themselves beyond this game and going to the tournament strong, not only as a team, but also mentally.
That's 14 for Andre Miller and a timeout. 6:57 to go. Utah on their way to a big win over Bliss.
Thanks. Here's to you, and here's to me. The best of friends will always be. But should we ever disagree? Heck with you, and here's to me.
Brewing with imported hops and caramel malts makes it a taste worth trying. But this brew is from O'Doul's, and that makes it a taste worth toasting. O'Doul's Amber Non-Alcohol Brew. Cheers.
all began with its solid form design. Now that design is achieving some very solid results, presenting the most solid Grand Am ever for the most solid ride of your life. And now Grand Am has been ranked the most appealing entry midsize car by J.D. Power and Associates. It's excitement, well-built. Grand Am by Pontiac. Get into a well-equipped Grand Am today for only $209 a month and drive away with one solid deal.
Every 10 seconds or so, a stop sign goes up somewhere in America. And every 30 seconds, a traffic light goes up. It's as hard on your car as it is on you. It's stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go driving. Use Pennzoil. Formulated for today's stop and go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
You spend your days, and probably more evenings than you'd care to admit, trying to align your company's strategies with process and technology, and managing risks to your global operations. At Arthur Andersen, we can help you make those kinds of decisions. And that just might free you up enough to take care of something that's really important. Arthur Andersen, helping in ways you never imagined.
Well, Utah on a 26-7 run over the last 9:35. Let's take a look at our game summary. And Rolando, the score, one-sided indeed. Field goals to shots, 30 of 51 for Utah, 14 of 41 for New Mexico. And look at the rebounding. Utah's dominated 33-17. Rick Majerus, the head coach in his 10th season. What a great job he's done in those 10 years. 7 WAC titles, 5 in a row. He's been to the tournament 6 times, 4 Sweet 16s, 2 Elite 8s, and of course the Final 4 last year and losing to Kentucky. And Rick Majerus, number 4 when it comes to winningest active coaches around.
You know, when you teach total basketball and you get guys to come in and implement your plan the way he has, the great level of communication that he has back and forth with his players, that they believe once you do get to that court and execution starts, you've got it yourself an advantage each and every time you put a team on the court. And that's what Rick Majerus has been able to do with all of his basketball teams wherever he has gone.
Rolando, every time you turn around, that man is mentioned when there's an opening around college basketball. I mean, Rick Majerus automatically is put into that athletic director's top 3 category, and he has to deal with that year after year. But he really likes his home and his kids here at the University of Utah.
Oh, definitely. At the end of every season, the first thing they do is put Rick Majerus in their books.
Well, not long. Picks up the loose ball. 3-point shot short. Saved nicely. Good save by Brian Smith. And a fresh 35 on the shot clock.
Definitely continuing on that hustle play, too. Getting nice second shot opportunities.
Well, a 3-point shot just not going down. Thomas still working hard. Smith on the backside.
Good play right there by New Mexico. Got a shot up there by Henry that did not hit anything, but they stayed active on the boards. Both New Mexico big men doing the job.
Watch Dave Bliss in that timeout, Rolando. He continues to coach despite the lopsided score.
He has to keep these guys mentally in it. Not only that, but their spiritual level, very important. We're coming here. Henry finally gets a nice shot, but it's really off the mark. Thomas putting it on him, but Smith on the other side, staying active, getting a good 2 for New Mexico.
Dave Bliss, he's coached at Oklahoma, SMU. He's had 10 20-win seasons. The man's a winner.
Oh, he is a winner for sure. I mean, I remember when I was playing against him when he was down at Oklahoma, and always had strong basketball teams in which really I had to get out there and to think and do a good job to try to get through his defense.
Well, Thomas and Althoff call for the double foul, so a discussion at midcourt.
We'll find out what these referees are discussing right now. We're talking about teams not stepping up, but it's been very, very difficult for Kenny Thomas and Lamont Law not to step up simply because Utah defense has just been overwhelming, not giving them any opportunity. I mean, even to make a pass on the perimeter has been very difficult, much less look at the basket to score.
Well, a new shot clock, I think, was the discussion. They want it down to 5, 14. They want to bring it down to 14. They have it at 35.
Yeah, the only thing that's too bad about it is that it's still Utah basketball.
Shot clock has been cured. They lob it into Jensen. Spin move, stolen nicely. Pickpocket Henry. And Henry down court, smartly brings it out. Long, looking for three. Drives, scoops, wouldn't go. Rebound, Long, and a whistle.
And the hustle right there by Lamont Long, trying to get to the bucket against two defenders, was able to still get the rebound. It's a great play right here, too. Robinson throws the head to Henry, who slows it down a little bit, finds it open. Lamont Long, who decides to take it to the bucket. He's one of the best slashers in college basketball.
And Andre Miller is coming out, and what an applause.
What a tremendous player. This is Andre. They have a tremendous player right there in Andre Miller. All the years that he spent in Utah. Does everybody realize, just look at his numbers of 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 11 assists, of course, that during his tenure here, he's had 109 and 19 in his 4 years here at Utah. That's incredible. Incredible, Craig. 55 and 6 in conference play.
And after today, you can just jump it up to 110. 110 wins in your collegiate career. Andre Miller.
Those are the guys you want on your team. So unselfish, but yet so skilled and so talented. Making a basketball player much better.
Alex Jensen was whistled for the foul, and Henry misses the first. Davis checks in for Smith for New Mexico. Greg Davis had a bucket in the first half, the sophomore from Arlington, Texas. You see the numbers on Henry, and he connects 4 points all here in the second half.
Right now, New Mexico trying to change it up a little bit, going with the trap. And that forces Jensen to try to break that and throw it out of bounds. So good play. Good play by New Mexico.
Rick Majerus has made some substitutions. Crockett is in, along with number 41, Tyson Johnston. Althoff. Adam Sharp. Long backs it out.
That's just when you're not in sync right there as Kenny Thomas has hit those shots.
Long bangs down the 3. 7 for Lamont Long. And Rolando, as we hit that 5-minute mark, you remember back on February 1st, New Mexico scored only 39 at home at the pit. They still need a bucket to match that.
I think they'll get it. I think they'll get it today, but the important factor is what is the mental scope going to be for them going into next week's start of the tournament. That's what they have to do, recover and be able to apply themselves.
Jensen throws it out to Crockett, a little bit too strong. Turnover, and New Mexico will have it.
Right now, Coach Majerus has made some substitutions, but I tell you what, you know he doesn't care who's in the game.
Well, look at those numbers. 55 and 6 taking on WAC opponents. More WAC wins than any player in conference history. And by the way, as you know, the WAC splitting up. The new Mountain West Conference will begin next year with these two teams being part of that 8-team conference.
Exactly right. It will be added by BYU, also Air Force, San Diego State, Wyoming, UNLV, and Colorado State will make the new Mountain West Conference. So this is the last time they'll be playing these WAC basketball games.
17 fouls Utah at the line for the Lobos.
Pretty nice day outside, but Rick's put the sweater on. That's his trademark. He wore that one all through the tournament. Actually, he took that sweater off and auctioned it off for charity after they came back from San Antonio. I don't know if I would. I hope it was dry clean.
Oh yeah, I think he has more than one. Maybe a set of 6 you can rotate out there.
Let's hope. 72-37, Utah. Crockett holds it. With this lead, Rolando, invaluable experience for this backcourt of Crockett and Sharp for Utah. Getting some minutes.
They're getting some minutes against the Lobo team that's still trying to get in there and find their rhythm. Before this game is over, no matter who they're playing against, they've definitely got to be able to find that. As we look right now, Utah takes that commanding lead with New Mexico trying to find themselves.
In the financial world, banking as we have known it has become a thing of the past. Brokerages, insurance companies, all of our financial institutions are in transition. Teller windows have become electronic gateways. The savings book is now the investment portfolio, and financial products which once could only be obtained from a vast number of different sources can now be obtained from one. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, planning, insurance, all have moved to a single place, to the financial mountain called First Union, who for half a century has helped investors seeking diversity, growth, and security. Come to the mountain called First Union, or if you prefer, the mountain will come to you.
Start something special.
In a car commercial, you expect to see some fine print. Well, here's some of the finest darn print you'll ever see. Right now, get 2.9% financing on all 99 Oldsmobiles. Start something special at your Oldsmobile dealer now.
Investigates a child's death.
Dear God, she was killed.
Trisha Yearwood guest stars.
I don't care what I have to do. I'm gonna find him.
On an all-new Jag, CBS Tuesday.
Time to turn the clock back. Tournament heritage time, and we had to really dust it off here. 1981 tournament. Super shooting guard named Rolando Blackman hit the winning jumper with 2 seconds left as Kansas State defeated the 2 seed Oregon State. Rolando, can you still, I want to know, can you still get the elevation?
Oh, I can't get that elevation the way that is. Do you remember where you were when that shot was happening?
I was watching you. I saw you hit that shot, and of course later, that was frozen in time on the front cover of Sports Illustrated, one I still have.
And I still have about maybe 15 copies. I've got a few of them.
I'll take one with your autograph, will you?
Not a problem, my man. Go K-State.
Thomas gave it up to Smith, and contact and a whistle.
And see, Greg, even plays like that are very positive plays as New Mexico is trying to get something going, to get some points on the board as Thomas goes one-on-one and is able to get the ball over to Brian Smith. Good opportunity.
Smith has put together a pretty good ball game considering the lack of offense by New Mexico. 13 points for Smith, the sophomore. Out of Tucson, transferred out of the University of San Diego. Out goes Jensen, and boy, he gets a nice hug. And remember, he went down early in the second half, 5 stitches in the back locker room, and came back out and finishes with 14 points, 7 boards, and 5 steals.
And still came out as an impact player too. As soon as he got on the floor, showed his presence.
Stripped away by Henry.
It's also very good, valuable experience also for Adam Sharp and Tyson Johnston Crockett to be able to do a good job here.
Thomas lost his footing, but good hustle by Lamont Long coming back the other way. Oh, nice head fake with the left hand.
Tremendous athletic ability right there and a smooth basketball play. Good decoy play.
Well, he is the Houdini of scoring. He can go left, right. He can put the ball on the floor. when he's in rhythm, one of the most dangerous players in the WAC.
Oh, yes, and if I were him to take away from this game to be able to understand that when you find defensive pressure like you find against Utah, his abilities are the ones that are going to be utilized.
Sharp, Adam Sharp for 3. That's 5 points for the redshirt freshman. Former Utah Gatorade Player of the Year. He talked about it yesterday, Ro. Most of these guys' bios that you read, everybody was the former All-American, the former Gatorade Player of the Year. They come to this level, and it's something else. Tonight, all new on CBS, early edition, followed by Martial Law and Walker, Texas Ranger. Check it out. It's all new tonight right here on CBS. Utah celebrating on that bench, and Rolando, quite an accomplishment. Unbeaten in conference play. 2:15 to go in Salt Lake City.
Start something special.
In a car commercial, you expect to see some fine print. Well, here's some of the finest dart print you'll ever see. Right now, get 2.9% financing on all 99 Oldsmobiles. Start something special at your Oldsmobile dealer now.
New York, the Big Apple. Hey, you guys think you got game? You got nothing. Home of the #1 world champion. Biggest and the baddest police. Ah, you ain't got nothing. You call that a squeegee? You call that a kiss? I'm gonna be late. Get a hotel room.
Ever wonder why New Yorkers have such big mouths?
You got nothing.
Because we eat big pizza, like the big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. 16 inches of real New York pizza dripping with cheese at a very un-New York price.
$9.99. What do you think this is, Indiana?
The big New Yorker, new from Pizza Hut. It's beautiful.
Someone's kidnapping beautiful young models.
Sex, slavery ring.
And selling them over the internet.
Can't wait to get my hands on that guy. I prefer my feet.
Log on to an all-new Walker CBS tonight.
CBS sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile dealer. First Union, your guide to the financial world. And by Pizza Hut and the Big New Yorker Pizza. A big New York style pizza at a very un-New York price.
Welcome back to the Huntsman Center. Utah, it's a fact. 19 consecutive games they have won. That's a new team record. Last year, what's amazing with Doliak and Andre Miller running the show, Doliak now with Orlando, the NBA, they won 18. So they beat their record of a year ago. 19 consecutive wins for that man.
I just think it's a tremendous part for this basketball team, and also Rick Majerus to be able to utilize a system that's so strong in their defensive structure that team after team after team is able to show that they're very good at what they do.
Henry, a bounce and the 3.
Everybody calls that a shooter's touch. At least I used to, especially after it bounced up and not bounced in.
Henry was 7, all here in the second half. Under 2 minutes. Harvey draws a double team up high. For the Crockett. 9 on the shot clock. Harvey lost the dribble, picks it back up, lost it again. Good defense by Long. 4 on the shot from way downtown and just missed it. Grabbed his own rebound. My, oh my. When everything's going right, it goes right.
It does, it does. Ball bounces right back to you as everybody stands around.
And Rick Majerus emptying his bench.
Brandon Bruga in the game. My goodness. He'll play some basketball. He was on the scout team yesterday, doing a very good job too. Preparing.
Half the team out there right now, walk-ons.
Oh yeah, these guys, you and I were looking yesterday, were part of that big scout team, getting everything ready.
Thomas with a push from behind on Tyson Johnston. Thomas picks up the foul. That's number 4 on Kenny Thomas.
team.
There's Hano Metala. Donnie Daniels, one of Rick Majerus' longtime assistants, recently interviewed for the head coaching job at the University of Nevada. Long overdue, as is Jeff Judkins. You know, you get into a program with, of course, a well-known and successful head coach. People come looking.
Oh, definitely. And Donnie Daniels has been around for a long time. 10th year right here with Rick Majerus. Been able to do a fantastic job in the setup and recruiting.
One minute to call the game. 1 minute.
77-43, final minute ticking away. Both clubs on their way to Las Vegas for the WAC postseason tournament. Of course, the winner there, the automatic bid gets the automatic bid for the tournament. So New Mexico still with that opportunity. But you have to wonder at 22-7 and that low RPI rating, how things will fare for New Mexico.
I think right now that they have to make a good showing, do a good job in the tournament, being able to get a couple of games, and I think they're in. But the important part of it is that they've got to be able to get a few games once the tournament starts next week. They finish second place and they'll get a bye. They've got to be ready to play.
Thomas makes the front end, 13 for Kenny Thomas. Make it 14 for Thomas. And a 22nd timeout. Of course, Utah fans will boo, but Bliss huddling his team. And Rolando, it's a coach who wants to make sure he gets a point across.
Oh, he definitely does, simply because some of these guys have been doing a great job the whole year, but the important part of it is that he still wants to teach, which is his major thing in Rick Majerus.
Triple header action tomorrow here on CBS. Kentucky tangles with Tennessee, or Temple battles UMass. Next, UConn, and at Syracuse, or you'll see Kansas and Iowa State in the nightcap. Latine Cleaves and the Spartans battle Gene Keady's Boilermakers. Big day on CBS. Check your local listings for the games in your area. That's tomorrow on CBS. Final seconds, 77-45. Utah, as I mentioned earlier, Rolando, this game, their defensive effort especially, just classic, a classroom.
Totally smothering anything New Mexico wanted to do. Weren't able to get any kind of breaks. And when they did get them, they were under so much pressure that they missed a lot of their opportunities.
Robinson on the fast break, little hand flip miss, but Thomas was there for the tip. But Kenny Thomas pads that point total to 16. And listen to this crowd as Utah wins their 19th straight game.
Well, it's a great Utah program. Andre Miller, lone senior, leaving next year. But Rick Majerus, you've got to compliment this coach who has put together a program that has continued to win, even with the loss of Van Horn and Doliak, and now has broken the record with 19 wins. And put together a great run, and they're moving on, going to the WAC tournament.
Utah jumps to 24-4, 14-0 in the conference, a perfect season. New Mexico drops down to 22-7, 9-5 in the WAC. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game for New Mexico, Kenny Thomas, who came on strong in the second half. Thomas with 16 points, 8 rebounds, and for Utah, it's Hano Metala. 20 points, 10 boards. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial needs. Andre Miller lifted on his teammates' shoulders. Blackman, I'm Greg Bullerjack saying so long from the Huntsman Center. Andre Miller cutting down the net. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship.